Hey guys, this is a super quick video today. I'm actually just going to show you how I did holographic hair on this Natasha, and I'll show you some examples of holographic hair as well as we go. But you can see our center part. We're going to need some rubber bands, and we're going to need a rainbow high comb. I'm going to go around the edges, and I'm going to take all of the first row of rooting around her face and around the back of her head and separate it into small braids. Then I'm going to take all the stuff in the center. I'm going to plop it into 2 large braids for right now, but it's not going to stay like that. We're actually going to end up doing the center strips together, and then all of that extra is going to be the colorful part. But for right now, we've got it like this. Here are the colors we're going to use. You're going to have Rit All-Purpose Pearl Gray, Purple, Petal Pink, and all of these are going to be sink wash. There's no boiling, okay? Alright, and then we're going to have Sunshine Orange, Golden Yellow, and then I did not actually use the Kelly Green that you're about to see. I ended up, instead, in order to make my green, using the Aquamarine and mixing some of it with the Golden Yellow because I wanted more of a minty green, not just a light green. So you can leave the Kelly Green out of it. Okay, so I've re-braided her hair now. I've taken out that center part and I've done 2 big chunks on either side of it. This is all going to be the pearl gray. This and all the little braids that we did around the edges are all going to be this pearl gray, and they're going to be very, very little dye. Because this gray tends to go really blue, you want to put hardly any dye in. And don't worry if the ends turn a little more gray than the roots. We want it to have this very ombre look. Alright guys, so this is all the parts that are gray, and it's going to dry really light. We're going to do the lavender next. So we want to, I'm using the powder because my store didn't have the liquid. Again, you just put a little bit. You want to be able to have it very translucent that you can see right through it. The other thing you have to really watch out for, see these little dots, you want to make sure they're very well stirred. Okay, this is where it gets kind of wild. So what I did with her hair was I actually took those 2 side braids and I've taken them apart and I've divided them into 5 rows. I did loose row, braided row, loose row, braided row, loose row. On all the loose rows, you're going to take them, and remember how I showed you guys how to do the ombre rainbow previously? It's just like that. So we're going to do the roots of each one of those loose rows in the purple. You want to keep it a very light lavender. You don't want to go too dark, but do remember that it dries lighter than what it looks. Now on those same ones, we're going to take the aquamarine and again do a very, very light sink dye. We're going to do the middle section, and then for the end, we're going to add a bit of this golden yellow to the aquamarine until we get this very light green. And we're going to do the ends of those loose rows with the green. Now we're going to take the 3 rows that were purple, aqua, and green and braid them and take down the other 2 rows. We're going to start with the petal pink at the roots, do that the same way, then we're going to do the middles in the sunshine orange. Again, just very little dye, quick sink rinse, and then we're going to do a little bit of the golden yellow, and we're going to finish those off with that color. So your rows should be really pretty rainbows. Alright, next up we're going to do her makeup, and I actually used some colors out of this Too Faced palette and some colors out of an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Here are the colors I used. I think this one's like That's My Jam, and then I used this like shiny pink color right here. And here's what palette that's from. And I did her eyes and lips, and That's My Jam, and then the shiny pink color towards like the underside of her eyes. And then I took this Kat Von D palette, and I used the blue at the inner corners, some ultraviolet on her cheekbones, and some of the pink just to do some highlighting spots on her face. And then I sealed all of this with the Mr. Super Clear. I actually used like a couple of layers of that. I think like 2 or 3. Definitely wear a real respirator, not just a mask, because this stuff is really toxic and you don't want to be breathing it in, and definitely do it outside. So I also switched her eyes with these Mara eyes from the Neon Rainbow or whatever it is, like the Shadow High doll that came out for Rainbow Vision. And they were just a little more blue, whereas Natasha's actual eyes were a little more green. I wanted this kind of blue and purple because I thought it would go better with like the cool tones from the gray. Alright, so here she is all finished. I did dye her coat and outfit in that same sink dye, and I used this Holographic Illusions Deco Art acrylic paint, just basic acrylic paint, and I used that on her eyelashes and on her lips. her lips were already sealed with the Mr. Super Clear, but I wanted to give them just as much holographic stuff as I really could. The coat in my outfit, like I said, was a quick sink dye, and it took really, really well. And then the necklace is, I think, from Barbie, and then the earrings are, I do believe they're her actual earrings, same with the shoes. Alright, so here you can see her hair is really shiny, and it kind of kept like the crimply texture, so I was really happy about that. I didn't want to rinse the texture out. I had to comb through it right quick. But yeah, hopefully this shows you guys, like, she was really easy to do. I mean, honestly, I applied her makeup with just a regular makeup brush, sealed it with 3 layers. It turned out really, really pretty. The hair turned out really good, and honestly, it was just sink dye. I mean, the hair itself, even with having to, like, run more water for every different color and doing her outfit, all together took like maybe 45 minutes, and then probably less than that, and altogether like she took less than 2 hours. So I was really, really happy with her. I think the thing that took the longest was waiting for the Mr. Super Clear to dry in between. After I did her makeup and sealed it, I actually heated her head with a blow dryer and used my like tool method to pop her eyes back in. No cracking, no weirdness, because I get asked about that a lot. And I don't know, I think she turned out really well. Here's her hair put up in like a little high pony. I think that turned out really, I like it better. I think you can see more of the colors in her hair. Notice how they're very pale, and that's what I said, like, it's going to be lighter when they dry. I hope that you guys love her as much as I do. I hope that this video was helpful, even though it was very, very quick. Just so you guys can kind of see some of the supplies I used for her. If you guys decide to try holographic hair, hit me up over on Insta and tag me. I'd love to see it. And I'll see you guys next week. I hope you really enjoyed this. Bye!